not by sight. If there's one thing I've learned in my digital marketing journey, it's that the enemy doesn't attack what's not a threat. The moment you decide to build a business, especially one that glorifies God, something that breaks generational curses and frees people from the bondage of poverty, serves people and expands the kingdom, don't be surprised when fear, doubt, overwhelm, confusion, and the master one overthinking try to cloud your path because the enemy has seen the oil on your head. Just as God was pouring it on your head in the realms of the spirit, the enemy saw it and decided to send these obstacles your way. When I started my online business, I thought I was just trying to make money, but I've come to know that it has always been spiritual from the start. You are not in the business as a Christian entrepreneur of just making money. This is an assignment, and you have been called and you are chosen. The moment I said yes to the vision God gave me, all hell broke loose. I repeat, all hell broke loose. From power outages, when you live in Africa, the lights go off like nobody's business. Sometimes you can turn it off 3, 4 times in a day. Sometimes you can go like 2 days without internet and electricity or power on. So just imagine being on a call with a client about to pay you $3,000, $5,000 and the light goes off. And once the light goes off, there goes your internet connectivity. And that alone can discourage you. But in order to persevere and be successful as a Christian entrepreneur, persistence is your best friend. You need to have that mindset of no matter what it takes, I'm going to overcome. I'm going to find a way out. So what do? You get backup internet. You get a generator. You have backups. You plan. And instead of being a victim, you become an overcomer. You let that mess become your message, right? Missed payments. Imagine power outage comes and you're not able to pay. Imagine being in a country where it's difficult to do, transact money because of the limitations. I remember having to pay someone to open a PayPal account for me because it's banned in Ghana. You can use PayPal in Ghana and even in Nigeria. So I had to pay, go through another route to get it done, and I found a way to make it work and receive payments from international clients. Broken systems in Africa, delayed results with these challenges that the enemy throws at you, from power outage, from internet connection to payment issues. That is a lot of obstacle for an entrepreneur to overcome. But when you're on an assignment, know that he who has called you will never leave you without resources. Fear started whispering, what if this doesn't work? Is it worth it? Why is there so much of a hassle? Why is that there's so much against me? Right? Doubt creeps in. You're not cut out for this. You're in Africa. Who's going to buy from you? Who in the US, the UK, Australia, England is going to buy from you? Right? Confusion then follows next. Maybe you should just stop. Then discouragement, frustration shows up at your door. And for a while, I let it get to me. But how long? How long can you stay down? Right? I kept checking the results of people who were successful, people who I started before. I kept comparing, but I learned sooner that comparison is a thief of joy, and everyone's journey is different. I kept worrying about my timelines. I started here, I should be here. And then I tried to figure it out on my own with logic. But God did not call me to walk by sight. He called me to walk by faith. When you walk by faith, you don't look at the current situation. You look at you look at he who has called you, right? And faith doesn't ask for proof. It obeys the whisper. So it doesn't ask God, show me 3 signs I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur. Show me 6 signs that I'm going to be a six-figure earner. No, it just moves. It obeys. Out of that obedience is the breakthrough. All the people you're meant to serve and break all those chains are behind that obedience. And so the greatest way you can demonstrate your faith is by taking action. The greatest way you can overcome doubt is by taking action. The greatest way you can stop overthinking, do I sound good? Do I look good? What will people say? People are going to talk either ways. You either be the one they talk about when you finally become who God has called you to be, or you become the one that they talked you out of your calling. Which path are you going to choose? Because when God called you, they were not there. And when you're answering to God, they won't be there. So their opinions won't matter. It has never mattered. And it never will, right? So I started doing something radical. Once I heard the whisper and obeyed, I stopped chasing over metrics. Yes, you're going to start. People are not going to listen. People are not going to engage. People are not going to like. But that's part of the journey. And so I stopped obsessing over metrics. I started listening for more direction. I stopped running ahead and I started aligning with what he wanted me to do in that season. And slowly but surely, things shifted, not just externally, but internally. The real transformation begins on the inside, and the manifestation now begins in the physical. It begins to show externally. So if you see anyone winning, they've won in their minds and they've paired it up with their skills, right? And once things shifted and it started internally and it started showing externally, the fear lost its grip. The doubt became noise, just shut it. The confusion, it broke off. The muddiness, clarity began, and it became clear as water. Because when God gives you an assignment, He also gives you the grace. He gives you the resources. He gives you the people. And He gives you the power to complete it. And that's the truth I want to remind you today. If you're feeling a lot of spiritual resistance in what God has called you to be, it's not because you're off track. It might just because you're exactly where you're meant to be. So don't stop. Don't retreat. Don't shrink. Don't bow to the fear. Don't bow to the weariness. Don't bow to the discouragement. Oof. In the muddy clouds because you see the landing soon. The enemy knows what's on the other side of your obedience. Several lives, several clients, several women's breakthrough will only come when you're there. Guess what? God knows this long ago. So keep showing up, keep building brick by brick. The most important one, keep surrendering because who is really behind your steering wheel of your business? The walk isn't always easy, but is it worth it? It's more than worth it because the lives that you change, the legacy that you build, it goes many generations deep. So don't walk by what you see, walk by faith. You are no longer walking by what you see. You are led by who you know. You are led by your father. And the last time I checked, he has no track record of failing. Keep building, keep being who you've been called to be, keep serving, and they will come. They will come. See you on episode 2. Thanks for tuning in to the Proverbs 31 CEO. She builds with wisdom. If this episode blessed you, inspired you, or gave you clarity, do me a favor, share with another woman who is building her business God's way. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. For more resources and trainings, join my freebies to buyers waitlist. And see you on the next episode. I'm going to leave the link below. Until next time, remember, wisdom builds the house, and you, my friend, are building with pep.